Mint Salad and I saw The Killer. It is directed by David Fincher, written by Andrew Kevin Walker, and if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This was requested by a Patreon. If you'd like to fast track the movie review, you can do that at patreon.com/ASEPresents. On with the review. This movie starts, we're following a killer. He's on one of his routines. I like the start of the movie. The start of the movie be like, if you're bored easily, this is not the profession for you. Immediately I'm like, I could not be a killer. Based on this movie alone, because I get bored really easily and I have to do stuff constantly in order to alleviate my boredness. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same. So anyway, we get a look at this guy. He's just still, he has to stalk this guy. This guy in particular is hard to look at, you know, have a little gander at. We have this boss man of this hits man who's just like, hey, you done it? And he's like, no, man, he hasn't come home yet. Hey, we only got a couple of days. And then he smashes his burner phone. Here's my favorite sequence in this entire movie. This guy is literally just thinking to himself his routine. It's like, I am steady. I am logic. I am 100%. I am a sniper rifle that is 100% always accurate. And to test these skills, I'm going to listen to music because, and my justification is that it helps me focus. And I'm like, sure, I don't know how music would do that, but whatever. And you know what this guy who's so good at his job does? Shoots the wrong target. Should have waited. He really should have waited at least 30 seconds. Waited for the lady to get the heck out of the way of the bullet. But of course, because he misses the shot, I'm like, got him! That's what 30 minutes of inner dialogue was for, was to break that confidence that he had. Anyway, so we have this guy, he's like, oh, I'm in grave danger. His boss men be like, hey, you made a mistake. They're like, okay, cool. And then a bunch of guys try to kill him. I'm like, okay, you're trying to kill a hitman though. That guy knows how to kill. I don't think it's a good idea, but of course they do anyway. They try anyway. And it was this part of the movie which I just felt kind of disconnected from the film, because the first 30 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm interested to see how this goes, and then he makes a mistake. And I'm like, you made a mistake? I wonder how you deal with that. And the way he deals with it is just goes to his boss. The boss be like, oh, I'm gonna send men to kill you. He tries to fight off the men. He does fight off the men. He gets some clues or whatever. He goes to this lady. The lady be like, hey, you wanna die? You wanna die? I can make you die. And then they have the big old fight, but actually, he kills her. He kills her. And then he steals some guy's identity. And a guy is like, hey, I wanna kill you. He's like, actually, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm going to break all of the rules. I'm going to break the rule of empathy. I'm gonna break the rule of having any empathy at all. Actually, empathy is a really big part of the rule set. And he breaks it during this like the last 2/3 of the movie. Honestly, the last 2/3 of the movie are not really the most impressive in my mind. I personally like the first third because of the build-up and then immediately the release. The tension release of, oh wow, this guy is so good. He never missed in like years, got really cocky, and of course, messed up. How does he deal with the mess up? Well, a bunch of people try to kill him. Well, obviously, the boss man would send people to kill him, but like, isn't he the best? Why would you try? Why would you try at all? Just be like, okay, well, you know you're a best, whatever, but one mistake is death worthy, actually. How? How? Just try again for the target. Just try the target again. We won't have a proper opportunity window. We won't know. I freaking stalk the guy then. I don't know. Oh my goodness. The killer demonstrates some stalking abilities. Big old stalking brain. He stalks this guy down at the end of the movie and decides not to kill him. And I thought that was a really wussy move, because why would you go all this way? Why would you do all this effort if you're not going to kill the guy? man, this movie had a strong start. And so I was like, because the start was so strong, I was like, oh, you know, it might be like a 7, you know, it might be at least a 7. And then as the movie gets more movie, the less good it is. And by the end, I'm just like, whatever, I guess, this is middling trash. Middling things, I mean, they're good for wasting time, but are you really going to appreciate the art behind it? I appreciate the art, it's a dramatic irony, where this guy is just talking about how confident he is. I feel a sense that he's going to be shown that he's not confident at all. Is that feeling itself dramatic irony? I don't think it is technically, but you know, words are hard. I just felt like I predicted that he was going to mess up, and then he did. And then everything else about the movie is just so mid, and I keep saying it because I have to. It's the only thing I can really say about the movie is there's a lot of walking, a lot of running, a lot of changing, a lot of guns go blow. There's some action scenes. There's not a ton though. Personally, I wish there was either a little bit more or a little bit less action scenes. Personally, I'm not a biggest fan of action scenes because action scenes can get old. And the way that they do it in this movie makes me feel it's gotten old. It's stale. Goodbye scene. I don't want you here anymore. Please go away. But yet the scene still goes on. So, you know, this is a whatever movie. Would I watch this movie again? I definitely would not. I don't really particularly enjoy this movie. Although the first third is definitely very inspirational. I could use something with something like that, you know, the guy who's like, oh, I'm so good at my job. I can just autopilot through it, do some of my routines, check. But it's the actual execution. They get it perfect every time. This guy just thinks that he's perfect. So he doesn't need to check to see if he's perfect. No. Even if you think you're perfect, you have to be intentionally perfect or else you're going to make a mistake. Even if you're good. Even if you're good, you're going to make a mistake if you're not intentional about it. Just saying. You know, this movie's whatever, I guess. I gotta give this movie... Oh, God. You know, I liked the colors. I liked the tension. The tension was alright. It was whatever. It was not offensive tension. It was an okay amount of tension. But everything else about the movie is not really much else than that. So, I gotta give this movie, based on the colors, are alright, but they're pretty muted and they're pretty bland the entire time of the movie. So I gotta give this movie a solid 6 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one the platform really likes that. If you want a fast track or movie review, you can do that for $20 Radinos at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews, go to Sleep Tree. Find the way you can help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. So go here. And until next time, mint salad sauce, see you later, my sour croutons and bacon bits. I'm falling. I go fall now. Ugh.